laughing. Like Hans and I sometimes brainstorm. And if we're like wiping tears at the end of it, we're like, okay, we'll animate this. That's usually a good sign. Yeah, and it's hard though because like animation takes so long, so by the end of it, you kind of forget that feeling, and you're like, geez, I hope it's still funny, you know, because you get so close to it. But yeah, I just remember that brainstorming session. It's really important.
Usually when I'm animating something that I want to stay funny, I'll rough it out and I won't watch it back. Like, you know, like you want to watch it back like every little drawing you make, but like sometimes you just have to kind of let it flow. And then like when there's enough, you can kind of watch it back and be like, ah, hey, that was the thing. Or you can look at it objectively and be like, oh, that didn't work very well. I should redo it. That's how I do it.
Yeah. I'm not like a comedic genius, but normally if there's like a seed of an idea, like we all have like a funny thought, like you're hanging out with your friends, someone says something and it just makes you all laugh. It doesn't even necessarily seem funny on the surface, but I just jot all those things down, and then sometimes I revisit them when I think that there's something that can be built out of it, and then try to build it out, and if it still doesn't have a punchline, let it sit for a while, come back to it, and then hopefully, you know, you come up with that finale of trying to like...
That's really important too, like, when you get ideas, you should put them down. I don't know if that's good or bad yet, because we have like 50 scripts we're sitting on, like
well, no, that ends up happening. You have all these like half scripts and all these like little seeds of ideas that you never actually...
Well, at the same time, they're like your ideas, so they're really valid, they're really important.
And sometimes you end up getting a couple ideas and they like... Yeah, they're like...
Yeah, and then it just like, works.
One bigger idea.
So basically, we should all just be in sketch comedy, just like this fucking thing, and then like...
Give me your ideas. Yeah, absolutely.
Give me your ideas, yeah. But maybe that's bad too, because you revisited like your old shit like 3 years later.
Well, I think if you revisit it and it's still funny, no, but if it's funny after 3 years, like the idea, you're still like, oh yeah, and then you're like still laughing. I really think you should definitely make it. You know?
Yeah. Do you guys have like a person in your life that you try to freak out, and you know if they're kind of like not like they're weirded out by your stuff? You're like, I'm onto something. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. I deal with my mom. I'm like, look at this. She's like, what the hell?
Ideas can just like come from nowhere too. All my ideas come from nowhere. Sorry, everything I say is like sex related, but like one time I was at my parents' house staying over, and it was like 5 in the morning and I couldn't sleep. So as you do, you jerk off. Then I started thinking about Hermione Granger. In my head it was like, and then she just started going like, oh. That's what happened. And then it was like, yes. Who didn't answer so far?
Oh, I think me, I guess same deal. I mean, like you mentioned that you've worked on something for a really long time, and you're like, is this funny? I can't remember. And then eventually you get to this point where you're just like, I think it's done enough. And then you show someone, and then you're just like, oh, that's so funny. And then they laugh, and you're just like, like I showed you the Pokemon cartoon, I was really nervous. And then you laughed, and I was like, God.
Yeah, that's a really surreal process too. It's like when you're done and you show it to somebody, and then they half laugh at one part, and then like hard laugh at another part, and then you show it to somebody else, and that exact same thing happens. It's like, oh man, it's like it's weird because there's like different calibers of like and then like and then like
So no, I was gonna say at the end of the day, like I feel like when you're creating content, you really do have to kind of make it for yourself to a degree. Obviously, you want to entertain people.
Not even to a degree, you have to make it.
No, yes, but I mean, there's also an audience. Otherwise, I just make cartoons for myself. You know, it's like I don't need to show.
But you should never make content for people.
Understood, which is fun. Absolutely, but that's what I'm saying though. It's like when you watch it.
For all of us.
I'm not afraid of you.
Even though I think you really should.
I'm gonna hug you really hard.
I think he's saying like aim towards like a specific thing, and then use your own voice.
Right, because at the end of the day, when you watch it, even if your friends view it or your colleagues view it, and they're not laughing hysterically, if you inside still get a chuckle out of it, that's something that you go to the grave with. You know, you made that, you thought it was funny, doesn't doesn't matter if everyone likes it or not, you know, if you want money it does, but...
If I did everything I wanted, it'd just be like weenies.
We would be okay with that. Why just do it? Weenie bottle.
It was like a point would slowly come in.
You asked about the creative process. It's happening right in front of you.
It's not me! I was aiming at something.
Next question.
Yeah.
Yellow guy.
Which one?
Hello, guy.
That's an excellent question. I actually was, for those of you guys who don't know, I started a Let's Play about a couple years ago, I guess. And it was fun while it lasted, but we decided to put it down and focus on our own stuff. But I talked to Chris literally like last week, and yeah, we want to relaunch that and maybe like rebrand it because people actually thought we were homophobic. But we just thought— You're not? I love it. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. But it's the internet. You should be able to say whatever you want. But I guess the internet is a different place now, and yeah, we might just rebrand it to just TNGG and
Totally straight gaming? Is that what it's
totally. We might just swap out the G, so we'll just change it every episode, like totally not go for gaming.
Really not gay.
Yeah.
Fucking gaming.
Totally fucking gay gaming. I will do exactly that.
I guess so.
So yeah, we want to start up again, because we had a good time doing it. We got a big fan base towards the end of it, or like a really hardcore one anyway, so. Hey, thanks, yeah, how do you like it?
I like when you guys talk about Batman.
Yeah, very passionate about
Those
it.
are my favorite topics.
Batman. You should talk about Batman more. Do you want to talk about Batman after this?
Dude, let's go talk about Batman.
What was your second question?
Oh yeah, second question.
Yeah, we can easily talk about. We've got microphones in front of us.
Oh my God!
But thank you, it was great, we loved it.
Fucking, like, okay, so me and Chris had to go to like 8 different grocery stores to get all the stuff we could find in the house.
I was there too, you know.
You were there.
Yeah.
We had like
$150
gallons of it, and we actually tried to eat it. We didn't want to waste food.
You do know why we had to go to 2 stores?
Gain
Because
like
we
5
cleared out
pounds.
one store,
That's
then
what
we
I'm
had to
saying.
go to the other store and buy all of their potato salad.
Because you have to get the same brand too.
I just remember Chris had a budget. He was like, you know what, we need more. We're like, what? He's like, we need more. I was like, okay, how much more? I don't know, I got $400.
The thing is though, it's like, we used it for one scene and it was the worst joke in the entire video.
Oops. And you guys had so much potato salad at your house.
No one even got that joke.
It was good. I still like potato salad. With ketchup, yeah. It's good. No, whatever, man. It's totally fucking the dude in the vest over there.
So, growing up under your idols and inspirations in animation, voice acting, whatever else, what can you describe your feelings now being behind the panel rather than amongst the rest of us?
Describe your feelings.
Oh, you mean like what's it like being up here versus like watching somebody up here?
It's the same.
I actually feel like I shouldn't be sitting here
I
right
feel
now.
the same. I think it should be
Like I'm so like no, like I could pick anybody out of this audience and just go have the same fucking conversation. The fact that people watch me right now is just bizarre. I had nothing to say. I'm just sitting here.
When you sit in front of a microphone and start talking, like people.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you got a microphone in front of your face, like it just makes you seem more important than you really are. You know? It's just like everybody else.
Because you're louder than normal.
What was the question?
How do we feel like being, like looking up to people? How do we feel being people that people look up to, I guess? Is that it?
Well, I'm still very much on the, like Stanford said, like I'm sitting next to all the people that I literally like steal ideas from. So,
If I wasn't up here, I'd be over there.
Sorry, I don't mean like.